Yeah, my man. Hey, what's up? What's up?
What's going on? Can you see me? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can see you. I can hear you.
Perfect.
What else
Perfect.
do we need?
Awesome. Awesome. Sometimes, Instagram can be a little funny. I heard you say that it's been a while since you used this technology.
Yeah, like I've been limiting myself a little bit in terms of connecting with people throughout technology, but I have my work as a social media manager, so
Okay.
that is like something a bit different, but like communicating with my audience, with my people, doing lives, creating, I don't know, maybe some new content has been a little bit stagnated for me. So
Okay.
yes.
Okay.
Something
And
like that.
Anya, I wanted to share just a little bit of, a little breath with you before we start. Is it okay?
Sure, of course, it's more than okay.
We can we can take a short breather right before the conversation. Okay.
That
So
could be a good preparation.
this my favorite friends here. This is a shakuhachi,
Yeah.
so Japanese bamboo flute. I don't know if you. I know you're a musician, but when it comes to instruments, do you play any?
I do play piano
Awesome.
a little bit, but I was playing it for 8 years, but I forgot totally everything in the last few years. So, but I do play, yeah, and I do producing, which is also an instrument.
Beautiful, beautiful. Oh, your body remembers. It's still in there. If you played for 8 years, it's all locked in.
It's
It's
there.
locked in there.
It's there. You just need to unlock it.
Yeah. So we'll do a short breath here. Just take a deep breath.
Hmm. Wow. So magical. Thank you so much. Oh, Ashe, brother. Fully
I'm high. High right now.
prepared. Wow. So,
Blessing. Blessing. Oh my goodness.
so you are opening the ceremony of this talk, and I'll be closing the ceremony of this talk in the end.
Awesome. Awesome.
Deal.
Deal. So
Oh,
when it comes
the fireworks, the
Yeah,
fireworks.
yeah. You create that spark. You create that spark because, I saw something that you put up, Anya, and it said it was on your sound healing folder. You had a highlight folder called sound
Yeah.
healing. And it's
Yes,
something
yes.
that was fascinating to me, if you could speak on it, because it said that sound that we don't just hear sound with our ears. It
Mm.
said actually we hear it and we feel it through every pore in our body. Like every pore of our body feels that resonance. Can you talk about that?
Of course. So every piece of our reality is made out of frequencies and vibrations. So it's known to all of us that it is present here. And I feel that throughout sound, throughout creating these different frequencies, you can change your mood. You can change the way you look, even. You can change the way reality looks. You can change the way you start to perceive reality, trees, nature, everything. And the way you feel is like the least that it can do. So on a DNA level, it can also change certain things in your body. It can make like changes in your DNA, changes in your health. It can affect like if we see, for example, the base of what certain problems come into a human's body. So it's like, firstly, it is astral, so it's like from emotion, and then it reshifts into a physical form. So if we tap in to that emotional, firstly, yes, and we can tap in there with the help of sound, with the help of frequencies, and a certain body as well vibrates in a certain vibration, in a certain frequency. So for example, me, I am a different frequency than you, for example, yeah, but I see a match here. So anyways, like it could be a match anyways. But there are different like lower vibrational frequencies that people vibrate in and higher vibrational. And I feel that tapping in within this emotional astral space with frequencies, we can literally change the way our physical body is. So the way we appear in reality. And it is a really, really big healing tool for all of us that we can use, that we can tap in. We can also, no matter if you can sing, if you can't sing, it's accessible for you all the time. So you can choose what frequency you want to vibrate in
Yeah.
and change the way you feel
Yeah.
throughout that healing power.
Awesome. Awesome, Anya. Beautiful depiction, like beautiful description and explanation of this vibration. It's interesting.
Ooh, those rhymes.
We're always receiving information, so this is like a form of divination, that you can.
Purification as well as one of, yes, you can cleanse yourself with all of this frequency set, you know. So it's really, really important to know, be aware that it exists
Mhm.
and just to pay attention to that and use it as a tool for your own good.
Right, a tool. So using the tool like for your good, for your benefit, instead of, the reverse. Because,
Yeah.
we both have a brother, Devon. I know you met Devon,
Of
the black
course.
brother. He has a saying that I remember him saying back in the day, and it was called, "What we do frequently becomes our frequency." Yeah.
Mm.
So when it comes to frequency healing, and frequency medicine, when it comes to sound, like when were you introduced to this kind of, healing on this kind of level, and what did it ultimately do for you? How did it impact you?
So first of all, let's start that I I've been aware of all of this being present in my reality since my childhood. So I already used it as my tool of connecting with nature and connecting with my own spirit, with my own deeper inner self. And what was the question again? I'm sorry. Sometimes it's
Yeah,
fun.
Yeah. So I was asking,
Yeah.
when it comes to sound healing, frequency medicine, and these music meals, right?
Music meals,
When
yeah.
it
Yeah.
comes to this, like when were you introduced to this? When did this come into your realm of awareness?
Mhm.
But also, how did it impact you? On a cellular level, on a cellular level,
Mhm.
how did it impact you when you discovered this?
Okay. So it got introduced to me from my childhood, as I already mentioned before. And as well, I kind of regained the power of it after one really life-changing experience that I have, which I didn't share with anyone, with my fans, with anyone, like with my viewers. And it was a life and death experience with an ayahuasca ceremony. So that brought me to the awareness that this thing that I have inside myself, this tool of using my voice as a almost like a channel to connect with the divine energy, with the energy energy that I don't see with my eyes, which I don't maybe feel with my body daily, but I can access that through that portal. So using my voice as a portal, that awareness just shifted into me after that ceremony. I was like literally all day long singing and doing nothing else than just singing. And I understood how many personalities I can create with only using my voice, how many things I can embody with just changing my voice, with changing pitches of my voice, with, just having different types of emotions while I'm singing, and how it shapes everything, Like for me, I find this like a really beautiful focus of reality, even, yes. And what it has changed throughout the time of my lifetime, like when I realized that this is powerful, that I'm using it, and that I am actually creating something with it, is that I, right now, in this moment, in this present moment, I'm ready to give service rather than use it only for me and my ego and my spirit. Yes, because the mission of the spirit, it's not just nourishing your ego and only embracing the reality for your ego, yes, and just living for it. The higher purpose of your spirit will be always the God's service. So if you feel like it's time, it's definitely time. And if you have catch that little thing of yours that is that mission and that you can help people with, for someone it could be nutrition, yes, like transitioning to go vegan, for example, yes, or for someone it could be like body strength, yes, like building, like exercise. For me, like I know that it's the frequency, it's the voice, it's like the voice of the generation, even in a way. And I feel that, yes, what it has done to me till this day is that I understand that I have used it for my own good for a long time, that now I can transition this help to people, that they can receive this healing and they can just embrace how it is to be embodying like something that is raising their vibration a little bit higher. And yes.
Yeah. It's so beautiful. That is beautiful. Like you found your power, you know? You like made the choice to use your voice. And
Oh.
it's beautiful to witness, because to be able to have that perspective and that perception on this power that's coming out, within you, to make that connection, and to feel that connection reverberate. It's amazing. It's
Yeah.
amazing. When you said that, you were in an ayahuasca ceremony, or there was what was the ceremony? You said Why did you feel like it was life and death?
Because during that ceremony, I faced the death of my ego. So, what is death? Yes, I think no one knows till the end what death is because we're alive, we're here, and we haven't died yet for real, like in physical. But we can surely tap in there and we can like take a little sneak peek, like if you would have like a curtain, yes, and you can like see with your little eye what's happening underneath that. So that's what the ayahuasca ceremony showed to me. Like I saw what's under the curtain, and I forgot my name, forgot who I am, forgot that I'm human. I literally was just dissolving in this fractal paste of void of nothingness. And my ego really didn't like that because my ego was trying to take at least something for it, you know, like, but it stripped me naked fully. Like I had nothing to hold on to. And I just needed to accept that. And the moment when you accept that, it's the moment where you are resurrected back to life. At least that was what happened to me. So after that, I have been appreciating my life daily as much as I can. Of course, it wears off a little bit, you know, throughout time because it's a psychedelic experience, and I feel that you can have the same realizations coming into your mind by just having a healthy, good body and like tapping into that energy naturally by just being your best version of yourself. And that is like taking this psychedelic. It could be really harsh for some people, you know, to receive so much information in such a short amount of time. But it really got the benefit for me because after that, I understood that, as I said already before, it's my time to give service to this reality and that it's not only about me anymore. It's about this whole, it's thinking like a little bit, zooming out my thinking and thinking not only about myself, but also about every being on Earth and what we are experiencing globally. And right now, the world is maybe not in its best consciousness, as I would describe it. And I feel that we need to change ourselves, first of all, and just evolve in this earth. So it's growing, it's living, it's actually existing, and living and thriving on its best potential, not just we parasiting it.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely, absolutely. And just thank you for sharing that testimony because, you know, just that experience, like as you recollect that experience, it sounds like, you know, you went from maybe the consciousness of the ego system, as you call it, to
Yes.
the ecosystem,
Yeah.
you know? So from the ego to the eco, now it's like there's no separation. So everything is a part of that vibration. So now you're serving the all. You're in service.
Mm,
You know, you
yeah.
found purpose and
It's
so
like we're all one body. We're all sharing one big body, which is called Earth, and we're all like a little organ, a part of this body.
yeah.
So, and every little part of this body needs to function in its own purpose.
Mm.
And I feel if there's an imbalance to a certain body, then it creates imbalance globally. So every little part of this body matters, every little organ of this body.
Okay. Every little organ. So there's no part that is non-essential. Like
Yeah.
it all matters, you
It all
know?
matters. It all came here for a
Yeah.
purpose. And every little action, every little step that you make, every little word that you pronounce, everything has a purpose and it needed to be there in that very moment.
Okay. Because you know, someone said, and this might resonate as well. Like they said that, yeah, there are no small actions in an infinite universe. You know, there's no
Mhm.
small action, because when you're in, and I've never done ayahuasca. When you were saying that, you know, it had to be surrendered, that you had to, it had to be accepted, and then you resurrected. Like
Mhm.
there was an Anya before, and now there's another, there's an Anya after. You
Yes.
know, differently. So is there no way back? Like now that you know, there's no going back.
Yep.
Okay.
There's
Okay.
literally no going back to the old Anya.
Okay.
And it's a big shift, honestly. Like, I believe that not a lot of people are ready for that. And of course, I believe that, as I said before, it wears off and you kind of get back into all of your habitual stuff. It can't like erase everything, everything from your old patterns. You are yourself even more, maybe after ayahuasca. For some people, they become even more themselves, but like it's a bit different, you know? It's like when you become the toxic, because in my old patterns I had a toxic ego, a really toxic ego that needed some approval, that needed like uh, I don't know, like I wanted to judge people, I wanted to do wanted to have approval from people, yes. And the toxic ego kind of, during that resurrection, it transformed into a nourishing ego. So if before I wanted to intentionally, because everything we do, we manifest, everything we say in our reality, yes, because that's why we need to be really, really careful in what you pronounce and what you say. In my old songs, which are now deleted from YouTube, deleted from Spotify, I was manifesting my death, my ego death. I was always like singing about it. I was always talking about it. And I literally manifested that ayahuasca, which was extremely unpleasant for me. I don't believe that anyone would take it as a pleasant experience, what I experienced there. And after that, I started to nourish my ego. I started to not like say raise your ego like it's bad, it's a bad thing. But no, it is a thing that we need to exist here now in this reality. It's a beautiful thing, and we don't have to escape it. We have to nourish it, and nourish it in a proper good way. So for me, it was a really big lesson that erasing my ego won't help me. And actually erasing my ego was coming from my ego, so I can become like cooler, that I have an ego death. Yes, you know, that I have an ego death from psychedelics. It will make me like cooler, but it was coming from the ego. So anyways, nourishing your ego, saying to it that it's good, that it's amazing, that it helps us exist physically, that it's just a beautiful thing to have. It like highlights our uniqueness, you know, in this world. It's what we love. We truly need to learn to love our egos.
Wow.
Yes.
Every part of ourselves, you know, even the parts that we don't like to look at, even the shadows, you know,
Yeah.
learning to love shadows, learning to love the darkness as well as the light. You know, I love this message that you say, Anya, because, you know, when you're talking about these things that we try to shun, or try to say that it's not important, these pieces of ourselves, like, you know, the ego, you're saying that even trying to get rid of the ego is coming from our ego. Wow.
Literally, it is.
Wow. Wow.
It's
So
all
interesting.
there, you know, and the more the more you kind of dissolve from your ego, the more you understand that you want it back. That is also a really interesting point, because without it, there is like no purpose, literally.
Mm.
There feels like you're living in a void, which is not creating anything. But the key is that there cannot be a void for a long time. It's a temporary state of consciousness. Even death, I suppose, in my theory, it's a temporary state of consciousness, which will want to create anyways something again. So if we want
Okay.
to erase our ego, even from that part, we'll want it back. We'll want to create something again. We'll want to label ourselves in this reality for something, because we love uniqueness. That is the nature of a human, that it doesn't exist only because of the instincts, like for example animals do, yes, but they do have an identification as well. They know that they are, yes, present. But for humans, it's like the really one-time opportunity that we have a whole pattern of things that we can do. We can feel emotions, different emotions, bad, good, everything. We can feel it, and reality is like pushing us to feel it. It's challenging us to feel it, always. We can touch, we can smell, we can interact deeply with other beings, with our species and animals as well, yes? And we need to start seeing that and appreciating that truly, and saying thank you every morning we wake up that we actually woke up, because someone maybe didn't wake up, you know? Who knows? And that is beautiful. This is one-time experience, this life. And who knows, maybe we'll not have it anymore when we die. We
Yeah,
never know.
they do, Anya. You know, what you say is very, you know, this topic is really like challenging for a lot of people, because I remember there was a quotation. Someone said, you know, we each have two lives, and
Mm.
our our second life begins when we realize we only have one.
Mm.
Like that's when our second life begins, with that realization. So with the realizations that you had during your experience, you know, for anyone who's never done ayahuasca and they find it challenging to face that physical death, not just the ego death, but just the non-existence, just not being here anymore.
Mm.
That allows you to be comfortable with that, like to be able to live on knowing that there's an end, but to face it with no fear.
Mm. For sure, it is like a preparation,
Mm.
you know? But in a way, like, it helps to understand that, as you said, the second life begins when you realize that you have one life. And it helps to embody that and truly understand that and enjoy your day when it is, you know, and the values change as well. Like, for example, if previous if my previous self did have values that I need to like earn as much money as I can, like be famous with my content that I'm doing, I don't know, become a YouTuber that everyone knows and all of that stuff. Okay, it is beautiful. Yeah, it is a beautiful path. Yeah. But um, the change right now is just to embrace and enjoy, you know, go out in nature, connect with what is real, get out of the like this systematic thing that everyone has been put in. So we're living like in a bubble right now, all of us, that is like closed closed, and it's not getting anywhere out of that. And I feel like getting out of that bubble and actually being infinite and feeling like that we are big, not like, you know, just small small little thingies just doing their thingies, yeah, and just in the flow, but realizing that we are big, we have a big purpose here. We matter. And enjoy that feeling and embrace it. Go out, kiss the trees, not only your boyfriend, you know, and just enjoy what life has truly gifted you. It's the biggest gift we'll ever receive, you know, because there are some souls, I believe, that there are some souls that are maybe trapped in the spirit realm, yes, and they still cannot reincarnate physically, but they would love to, yes, but you have this really beautiful, unique opportunity to actually experience it and be here.
Wow. So when you see that, I mean, geez, you know, when you approach life like that, it's like everything else is
Mm-hmm.
here, you know? We're already here. So just enjoying this existence. I love what you said, Anya. Like, we're not just little thingies, just doing our thingies.
Yes, yes. These little thingies actually came here for a really big purpose, and I believe that we also chose our life, you know, and we also chose our physical life. Somewhere after our death, we were standing there in the sky, seeing from above what life scenario we want to live, and we were writing down that like a book, and then we forgot everything, bounced back into a body, and then we become a little baby that came out of mommy.
So trippy. So trippy
That's
just to, yeah.
that's just a theory, you know. I don't know what happens, but
You're helping us to remember, you know? And I even love because when you think of the word remember, it feels like the members are coming back together. They're joining.
mm-hmm.
Remember, you're putting us, you know, the things that we might have forgot, you know, the things that we might have left behind somewhere in our consciousness. And
Yeah, yes.
to embrace your mission, to embrace your vision, to embrace your service, to embrace and to realize you're worth it and know you deserve it, you know? It's such a beautiful thing to know that, you know, and to show that and to grow that, like to grow that within you. Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know what's interesting? That we always dive into the unknown. I don't even know what's going to happen after a minute, you know? And the most beautiful thing about this experience is that we'll never know, we'll never remember fully. We can only remember something that already happened. So we can just follow the guidance of our intuition, follow the guidance of our trust, of reality, and the guidance of just our spirit being present there always, but we cannot physically maybe see it or somehow connect with it. It connects on a different level. But the most beautiful thing is that you always dive into the unknown. And if you would knew all of your scenario of your life, there wouldn't be a point of living it, you know? So that's the most beautiful thing. You can also create your scenarios, and manifestation is a completely different topic, yes? But you know, you can't plan everything. You can't plan every detail. There will always be something that is out of the schedule, that
Yeah.
is a little point, that is just a magical, unexpected thing that happens in that day. So, yeah.
Yeah. I agree. You know, they say like we hear the laughter of God when we make plans, you know,
Mm,
you
yeah.
know, laughs like so,
I
so
think he's doing that right now.
yeah. Yeah. You know, as you were speaking, Anya, earlier, you know, one of the lovely viewers here that were just listening to you, they spoke on, they said, Anya sings like an angel of light, from Lamir. They said, you sing like an angel of light. Can you talk about light language? Because that's what I was hearing when you were singing. There was it just felt like it was coming from, you know, somewhere else. Like it was just, it wasn't an actual, like a language that's, here on earth, like a earthly, worldly kind of language. It felt like a more, galactic or ancestral or just somewhere. So can you talk about that?
Sure, sure. I'm pretty open about this, because I feel like this is a topic that I've been exploring. Still, I am exploring it. I cannot tell like 100% what it is and how it is. But what I have understood so far, that I've been doing that since my childhood, because in my childhood, my mission, I believe, like I had this really, really big connection with Japan, and I really wanted to learn Japanese, so I started to kind of imitate Japanese and talking to Japanese language, but in my own language at the same time. And we even had our own language with my dad. So we used to talk in it, but we don't understand a shit what we're saying, but we do understand emotionally, like it's like telepathy in a way. So it started all there. That's what I realized in these days, because in those moments you can't tell like, oh, I'm gonna be like, this is light language. In my childhood I didn't have any attachment to understanding what this is, like any label to it. It was just happening. And then throughout time I started to understand that my voice, when I was singing like different songs, for example, like I don't know, Miley Cyrus's songs, like covers, just singing, because I always love to sing. That would be the first thing I do when my parents go out of the house. And the first thing I do is like turn on the music and I let it flow. So singing like those songs didn't bring me as much joy and as much openness as my own intuitive language would sound when I sing. So it was really interesting that in that moment I understood that if I open myself to the maximum throughout the way I sing, and like completely turn off the thought that someone could think something about me, that I'm singing like in Chihuahua language, yes, then like just erasing that fully and being present in that moment and just doing what is done, allow it to happen, it opens me fully. It opens me to the point where I feel like I no longer exist, but at the same time, I am doing this and I'm present while I'm doing this. And that is the moment when this light language is producing itself to the truest, when you erase that thought that there is like someone listening, for example, that there is someone just standing there and listening to you, or that you are this and that, and like erasing your ego a little bit. Like this is the part where the erasing of ego is really beneficial, like when you just channel these things throughout you, and that is the moment where it's beneficial for you. And I realized that this light language is purely coming out, and then I started to record it, then I started to share it with people, and people are like, wow, this actually helped me heal, this is really powerful, you should do this more, and you should do this, that. Because it's really interesting that I've never thought that I could actually help people with that. I thought I could help it only just enjoy it myself as a really beautiful experience. But it just happened naturally that people just came to me and said, like, Anya, wow, you should actually do this and you should actually help people with your singing. And I'm like, how? How can I do that? I can only help myself. How can it help someone else? And I realized that it does help everyone else in some way. Yeah, but everyone is deciding for themselves how it resonates with their body, with their soul, with their emotions, because every little frequency that I transmute from myself it resonates differently with each body. So for someone, some notes can be like tapping into some sad emotions, for some into laughter, for some into paranoia or something else. You know, it could be really different depending on the history of your lifetime and the pattern of your emotions that you have been experiencing. And this is that beauty that it's unique for every person, and it is waking up something in everyone. This is also really beautiful, that it can't be ignored. It can't work like in no way. It cannot be like just nothing. It is something, and it is waking up something. And by waking up something in yourself, by waking up some emotion, it brings awareness to that emotion. And if it brings awareness to that emotion, it means that you now know that it exists, that you are feeling it. You can start questioning why you are feeling it. You can start going deeper into that and actually healing that if it's needed to be healed, or just experiencing that if it needed to be experienced. Yes, so
Beautiful, beautiful. I love these breakdowns. You know, you're so thorough in like your explanation and your breakdown of your illustration of, you know, the connection that you have with your power, the connection that you have with your voice, the connection that you have with, you know, this thing that it doesn't have to have something that is grounded in what we know as our reality or what we know as we can understand, but you can feel it on another, the energy frequency, you feel it, you know, so it transcends language, it transcends, you know, it hits the emotion, it hits the soul, it hits the spirit, it hits, you know, everyone hear it, it hits the spirit, you know.
Yeah.
As you were speaking, you know, Mila B down here, she said thank you
Yeah.
for sharing, you know, and helping us remember this gift. Like thank you for helping,
Mm.
because just to be able to witness yourself in that space of doing something, and you described it, you said like you were like everything and nothing at the same time. It's like you're
Mm.
doing it but you're not doing it, you're there but you're not there, you know, you're aware but you're everywhere, you know, and nowhere at the same time. And it sounds like such a manifestation for you to have the realization that you could actually help other people,
Mm.
that someone affected and impacted in such a way that they say, hey, Anya, keep doing this. Whatever you're doing, keep doing it because you changed my life, you know?
Mm. Oh, wow, that's so beautiful. And honestly, like,
Right. We're ready. Ready.
how come you have those fireworks behind you?
Oh, it's just this. It's just the love. It puts out love.
Oh, oh, oh. Yeah, I got it. I got it. I got it.
You got it. You got it. So, oh my goodness, you know, it was heating up so much. Instagram had to shut it down. It was heating up.
Yeah. Too much profound information for the systematic mindset.
You
They don't
know,
want us for them to expand this information.
Anya, when you speak, it's an energy transmission. So, you know, if there was just a couple more questions, you know, in these, you know, wrapping it up towards the end here, I wanted to hear about your experience or really your path and your journey when it comes to veganism. Because I wasn't raised vegan, you know, but I became vegan not for my health, not even for longevity reasons, but for the animals, you
Mm.
know. And I saw in one of your posts that you had a gentleman that you were talking to that said the same thing. You know, he spoke on the documentaries that he advised that people watch, and that was actually why I made that leap, you know. And for me, it was like after I saw Earthlings, that documentary,
Yes.
oh, there was no going back. You know, it was kind of like your experience with ayahuasca. Like I was open to something that I didn't even know, and it was like there was nowhere else for me to go. You know, so can you talk about have you always been, or was that something that happened along your journey?
So it happened along my journey. I was raised by just a traditional mindset, you know, like eating what my ancestors have been eating. My dad, my mom, my mom's mom, my grandma, everyone. Like I was just following the path, what they would feed me. But inside of myself, I always felt like this resonance in that, like intuitionally. And the transition started for me from actually having and embodying a really horrible eating disorder, which was bulimia. And it was my path to kind of shift to veganism. So to defeat this disorder that I had in myself and to stop this and never ending cycle of just destroying my body. And I was questioning during, like, having this eating disorder made me just question if I am actually eating the right things that I'm designed to eat by nature, if my body naturally just wants, after eating a lot of it, and why do I even overeat it, you know? Why do my body just wants to get rid of it, you know? Not it's not like naturally, but like artificially, like to kind of purge it all away. And it made me question, like, is it actually, am I eating the right stuff, you know? Because they all say just have balance, you know, just have the control over your food, just eat a balanced diet and everything like that. But the balanced diet, why do animals don't have guidelines like that? They just know what they need to eat. They just have their own intuition guiding them, and they never overeat. They never have problems like eating disorders like we do now. They never are overweight. They are just naturally doing their thing, what they need to do. And it made me question, as a species, what am I designed to eat? And this reason why I shifted to veganism, because it was more close to what I'm designed to eat. And as I believe, right now we are surrounded by a lot of processed food. A lot of people just want to make money on our food and on our health, and just, you know, it comes like a chain, you know, just someone is making us more unhealthy with the food and makes money on that, then someone makes money on pharmacy by treating that cause that we have been developing in our bodies, and then it comes like in operations and etc., etc. Like it's like a big chain of the system that is really well built right now, and it's just like continuously earning money and keeping us in the control of our potential. So what I realized is, even for me, it wasn't like for the animals in the first place. It was more like curing what I have been put myself into, and because of questioning what is my designed lifestyle. But when I transitioned to veganism, what I can say is that I've got improvements in everything, like in my skin and the way I feel and the energy levels, in the connection even with people and feeling animals, connecting with animals. My connection with animals has been so way much more deeper than it used to be ever, even when I was a child. Because when you're a child, you're already like pretty sensitive, you know, to all of the things. Yeah, but uh, when you uh, when you clean your body from all of the waste that you've been putting into your body all the time, then it creates space for something else to open. It's not like cleaning itself constantly and using that energy to clean, but it is actually using it for something else, for something more beautiful, for your emotions to release in a different level, for connection in a different level. So it's being used for its potential. And yes, that's kind of my path. But my right now, what I feel about veganism is it's 100% because of the animals, 100% because of my body, because of me wanting to live how I am meant to live. And I believe that also, like, there's levels to veganism. You can be like whole food vegan, you can be like raw vegan, you can be raw till four, and different levels create different opportunities for you to unfold in your body, in your energy levels, in your consciousness. And for me, like the supreme level, which would be my direction, could be raw veganism, like a high carb, low fat diet where we're consuming raw fruits and vegetables. That is like the supreme level. But it doesn't mean that automatically you have a clean karma, you know. If you're raw vegan, like I'm all set for life, you know. But it doesn't mean that. I think there is like other different things that can impact the cleaning of your karma, I would say. But that's definitely like the direction where to go. I could suggest it to everyone if we all here want to create balance, uh, balance in between all beings and beautiful connection. And if we want to create love on earth, then there's no room for eating animals and using them, abusing them for our own good. We're already on a completely different level of availability of food, and we're no longer surviving, we're thriving, and we have the possibility to thrive. And animals are here with us as our friends, as someone that we can connect with, someone we can learn from even. They're so smart. We can't even imagine. They're even like in some places they're even smarter than us, like in their intuition, in their levels of their emotions, you know. And it's also souls reincarnated on this earth that have a purpose, and we cannot be like so disrespectful that we just take this soul and use it as a product, you know, like like a production of chips. We For now, like, we equal production of chips like in production of beef or chicken. Like, it's on the same level for people, but it's completely different. Everything that has that has eyes and has a mother is not for consumption. It's for petting, creating friendship, and being in community together.
Yeah. Thank you for speaking on this. You know, and it just, the power of your testimony is magnified because you're living it, you know. You're not just saying it from somewhere that you heard it, like you're living it now. You know, this is your lived in experience. This, you know, it just rings true. It rings true.
Mm,
Like when you were saying, like, you know, you saw that the species specific, like you're like, okay, as a human species, should I be digesting this? You know, is this really for me? And then with the battle with bulimia, because I've never gone through that, so I can only imagine what that was like, you know, physically, psychologically, emotionally, even for people around you. And then for you to discover that, you know, that you could change that, that you didn't have to remain the same, that it didn't have to be that cycle of, you know, binging and purging, or binging and
yeah.
purging and releasing. Yeah, you know. Yeah.
And I would really want like to inspire more women on this topic, because I know that eating disorders these days is really common thing, and it's it's just like a pure cause of misinformation about human physiology. And there's nothing that has been teaching us this. In schools, they teach us things that we don't even use in our day, you know, like in our daily day. It's just like complete distraction about what is really happening in the world and how we should care about ourselves. And I believe that in schools we need to be taught how to build a house, how to care about our health, how to learn to communicate with people, you know, with connect with animals. And this is like a completely different thing that is happening right now. Okay, that's a completely different topic, of course, yeah, because the system is there's a completely different topic. But anyways, needed to mention that.
Yeah, thank you for mentioning it. You know, to be said, it needs to be heard, it needs to be witnessed, it needs to be acknowledged. You know,
Mm.
like when I saw Earthlings, it changed my life. You know, and I'm not I'm not the one to really you, you know, there were many years that I didn't shed tears. I cried when I saw that documentary.
Me too.
You know? Like I couldn't, you know what I mean? So when they broke it down on you, and you remember they said the five things. You know, they said we use animals for food, for clothing, as pets, for
Mm.
entertainment in circuses, and you know, and then for scientific experiments. You know, scientific advancement. So all of those things, you know, with animals, and it just went down the whole gambit and just showed all the things. And I had always felt disconnected and disassociated
Yes.
damage that was actually being done. And still, I'm the only one in my family. They call it the black sheep. I'm the black sheep in my family. They think I'm crazy. They think I'm crazy, you know, for just not doing what I used to do every day, you know? And it's just like, no, I don't want to do that anymore, you know? So for you to be able to like, how does your family receive you now? You know, seeing you now, seeing the physical state, the physical shape, the emotional state, the mental state, how do they accept you now with your new lifestyle?
Well, I want to like also appreciate my resonance to you, like about all the things that you said, and as well like about my family. I think they took it for like the first day when I told it was 8 years ago that I'm gonna go vegan. It there wasn't in Latvia here where I live. It was like zero availability of vegan products. It was like pretty minimal. Like, and it was a new word for the community, you know, to hear something like that. So when I firstly said that to my parents, they of course were really harsh on me, and I didn't even, you know, expect understanding from them because I knew that it's not something that they hear in their daily life that someone wants to eliminate, something that they've been doing every day for so many years and so many uh, kind of ancestral lines. So yeah, but throughout time, like even right now, to compare like those two states, right now my mom is trying to go vegan, and I have been inspired her by my own example because a lot of my family members, like they don't maybe look as I don't want to, if someone from my family is listening to this, like, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, bros and sisters. But I think erasing my ego, I think that I look maybe and feel the healthiest from all of my lineage of the family. And by my example, they are kind of getting inspired by it. And this is what I would suggest to people rather than try to convince someone going vegan if you are already feeling the benefits of it. Yeah, I know it's hard. You want to like tell everyone, every little piece on earth, like, go vegan, like, do this. Are you crazy? Like, watch this movie, watch that movie. But the best thing you can do is lead by example. They will see that you're glowing, that you're thriving, that you have a deeper connection, that your mind works differently. Yes, you can digest different things, like not only in your body but also in your mind. Like it's different. Yes, and they will question, they will want to know, how did you do that? How did you feel this way? How did you feel so good, so energetic, so thin, you know, or anything? Yes. So this is how I actually got my family to be calm about it and even consider transitioning to it.
Leading by example, leading by example.
Mm.
That's That's awesome. How does it feel to know that you inspired your mother? You know, like, did you ever imagine that she would even consider, changing her lifestyle due to something that you did?
So I think I manifested that in a way because I really wanted my mommy to be my best, and she is my bestie, my best friend. And so we don't have to like fight over food when every time we meet, like that she wants that and I want this, and I feel like I'm judging her because she eats that, and she feels like she's being judged why she's eating something. Um, and I feel like my mom, she also has this goal. She's really different from all of the other family members. She has this, like, I don't know even how to tell it, but I would describe it as an expanded consciousness. And she she wants to develop herself. She wants to evolve, and that's like one of the steps that she's making towards her evolution.
Okay. Okay. So I'm proud of you, you know?
Oh, thank you. And I also believe that people need to live more than 100 years.
Yeah.
Like, I believe that if we have a healthy body creates a healthy mind. And if we have this combo, this beautiful combo, and also we have like people and community that we communicate with, we're not like left alone there in our path, yes, then we are ready and set to live as long as we want, and we can choose the day we die rather than actually die. you know?
Wow. Wow. So you're saying death could even be an option instead of just an inevitability, you know?
Yes, I think it is. It could be an option. It could be an option, especially in our technological progress that we are experiencing right now. And if we combine it with a good lifestyle, which we are designed to have, and it is like inevitable that we are really different from other species. Every species is different, yes, but a human, for some reason, has thoughts, and it can analyze thoughts, and it can question things. But animals, they're living just, with the flow, in a flow state more. But we are like this, have this analytical part of it. And I don't know why, but I feel like because of that, because of this difference, we can actually choose what we want to do and how we want to live our life. It's just like all of this time, before, in the old mindset, in the old consciousness, we have been surviving and kind of like being the victims of something, you know and right now we're shifting to actually enjoying, embodying, and being aware of different things. I hope you understand what I'm talking about here. But yeah.
There's a conscious shift. Yeah.
Yeah. And I believe that this option of choosing your day of going away is maybe somewhere in the near future. It's available, actually, that you can choose. Like, you feel like, okay, it's enough for me here, yes, and it's time
Yeah.
to shift somewhere else. Yeah, that it could be a choice. But I don't know, maybe it is a choice already for some old people. I'm not old, like old enough to um, be in that mindset maybe and see how it is, but
Yeah. No, it's like the only limitation is our imagination. You know?
you know.
So I agree, and just thank you. Thank you for speaking these words. Thank you for sharing the lessons. Thank you for sharing, the wisdom. Thank you for sharing like the tests, the trials, like the things that you've gone through, the things that you've learned, and just what you've earned from your experiences. Yeah. It's refreshing. It's really refreshing to listen to. Yeah.
Honestly, thank you for hosting this beautiful, I would say, even interview, because I didn't ask a single question to you, even though I had an urge to do that a lot, because you're amazing, amazing human being, and I want to connect with you deeply. And I guess we don't need to rush. We have enough time to do that still. But anyways, like, thank you so much. My soul is beyond grateful for this talk, and it kind of made me learn a lot about myself, even on a different level. And it's beautiful that I have someone that can question something for me, and for me to evolve from that part and become even more great, like even more aware about certain things. Yeah, thank you so much. And of course, if you wish, I can end up this beautiful live by creating a beautiful frequency with my voice. I don't have any instruments though, no cool instruments like you do, but I have my voice, so I can try to use it
Please, please.
for a few moments. So I'll turn on one effect which I used when I was recording. I hope it's here, but it creates like a little feeling of a reverb, so it sounds a bit more full, and I lost it. But if it's not here, then it's still okay. Yeah, it's not here, but it's okay. We can still do it. It's just a bonus that I wasn't even hoping for. Okay. Take a deep breath through the nose and exhale really slowly. Sai, sai, Muchas gracias, obrigado. Thank you, Paldies, arigato gozaimasu.
Spasibo. Spasibo.
Спасибо.
Oh my, thank you.
Thank you. I'm feeling so much love right now. I honestly embodied every little person who is listening to this, who was listening, and just I feel it here right now. It's so beautiful. On the edge of crying from beautifulness.
back. Don't hold back. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank-
Felt- yeah.
And also, thank you everyone who was listening to our wonderful talk. And I read all of the comments, but I couldn't like answer to all of them. I hope it's forgivable. And anyways, like it has been digested here, and it is here for me. So thank you so much. Thank you guys, and thank
All
you.
right. Take care. Bye bye.
Stay safe. Bye.